Jayant. He is a great activist. He has used multiple forums to address the issues relating to the LGBT community, the queer community. He has done a lot of other things as well. He's part of Queer Nilayam, which tries to create a very safe space for people who belong to the queer community, and they can come and share their stories, or what all they can do is something that we'll find out after talking to Jayant. So over to Jayant. Can you explain a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, Sonal. Thank you so much for the introduction. So I'm originally from Bangalore, currently based out of Hyderabad. I work in an IT firm, and I identify myself as a gay man. My pronouns are he, him, and his. So I started being an LGBT activist for the last 2 decades. And I started off getting to know about the community through Good As You, which is in Bangalore. It's a support group for the queer community. Um, Post that, I started to include myself in being a volunteer, being a social activist, being a part of the Pride every year in Bangalore. And that's how I got myself completely immersed inside the community. So when I reached Hyderabad, I found that there were support groups in Hyderabad, but there were no support groups like a physical space support group. So in March on March 7th, 2021, me and a few more folks went ahead and founded Queer Nilayam. Queer Nilayam is a support group for the LGBTQI community. Our main goal is to have a physical space for the community, to for them to walk into the physical space any given point of time, whether it's in the morning, 3 o'clock, or in the afternoon, at any point of time for any kind of support. That's our main goal. In the meantime, what we have done is we have our website created, which is www.queernilium.org, wherein we have newsletters every month. And we have also published a magazine recently called Queer Nama. This is the magazine. And now all of these things have all information about Stonewall, when the Pride started, and people sharing their poems, articles. People have gone ahead and shared their talent on being. We have Patruni who has gone ahead and shared his story being a drag queen in Hyderabad. So now we have about close to about 150 members in Queer Nilayam, and every Saturday we do have meetings, regular meetings at 4 o'clock, for providing a safe space for the community wherein people go ahead and share their stories and experiences, what they've been going through or what they have been dealt with, or any of their friends they're dealing with. And we try to go ahead and provide enough support, like connecting them to a psychiatrist or a counselor within the community, because considering that a lot of people are give a lot of biased information on like it's a disease or you need to have an aversion therapy. So we're trying to go ahead and have people from the community itself to go ahead and provide these kind of support. We've also had sessions on mental health, HIV, and we have connected recently with Geetham University, wherein the students have initiated to go ahead and have an event for the LGBT community, or about LGBT community in their university, and Queer Nilayam is going to help them as well. So this is about Queer Nilayam.
That is so great to hear. It is amazing to hear. And all the people who are listening right now. So the Queer Nama is also available in the website of Queer Nilayam online. and you can just download it for free. So please go check that out. It is I have read that, and it is a pretty comprehensive magazine on the history of how the Pride Parade started, how people started accepting Pride as one of the things that Pride Month as one of the things that we do as an event. And it has stories and poems from a lot. I think Jayant, you also have a poem there.
Yes, I
uh,
have.
it's called Freedom. So everybody please go check that out. It is a very great magazine and a great way to increase and improve your knowledge about the history of the LGBT community. So I'll move on to asking about, because one of the things that the Queer Nilayam does is providing the health support to people who are going through maybe mental or any physical needs, or need any health support in terms of that. So there are a lot of talks about mental health for queer people, as in connecting to psychiatrists and helping them cope up with the discrimination that they face. But I would also like to ask, in terms of the other treatments, do they need any? Do you also provide support there? And how the hospitals or the doctors have treated queer people there, especially in Hyderabad, or if you have any experience with other cities also?
Sure, absolutely. In fact, we do have sex change operation for the transgenders, which ideally should be made free of cost by the government, because all other countries, most of the countries, we have government who have come ahead and said that, hey, we will go ahead and provide the operation free of cost, and you can go ahead and get your surgery done. So we are looking forward for those kind of support from the government to go ahead and say we are there to help you out. But currently, what's happening is every hospital will not go ahead and provide the surgery for you, and it is specific hospitals they provide surgery, and the problem is the surgeries are very expensive, and because for which most of them I have come across where they are I mean they identify themselves as a transgender, but the surgery has not been completed only because the surgery is expensive. There are even HIV related issues wherein and there are not many people to go ahead and tell that yes, we go ahead and provide HIV what do you call HIV related elements. We go ahead and provide medicines. We go ahead and provide tests. There are a lot of labs who go ahead and do that, but they don't come forward to say that yes, we will go ahead and help you out unless until you go ahead and ask and go ahead and talk about it, and it's a long session. So if I wanted if I wanted to have a like a drive for the LGBT community in Hyderabad, we actually contacted at least about 11 labs in Hyderabad, and only three of them turned back to us saying that yes, we are ready to help you. So yeah, it is difficult, but on the contrary, what happened 10 years ago, uh, it's no longer that way, because 10 years ago nobody wanted to do anything with the LGBTQ community because first is we did not, I mean, there were no proper promotion of the community. People don't talk about the community. People were very scared to talk about themselves. People were not able to identify themselves. People were not comfortable coming out. So when I see now, from the past 10 years, I think we have gone ahead and come to a level where um, it is fairly good, but it's not enough. So the progress is on. This the progress is very slow, but hopefully to go ahead and reach as many hospitals, as many medical professionals who could go ahead and come forward and help the community.
That is very nice to hear, because I was actually going to ask if there are doctors who refuse to do sex change operations or refuse to help the people who belong to queer community with medical aid, because they are, their thoughts are prejudiced towards the community. So it's good to know that it is at least less likely that that would happen compared to 10 years ago. So that's great to know. And so, in terms of creating safe space for the queer community to come and talk and share their views, how would you say an organization would should go about? Like, I do understand that an organization that is dedicated to promoting LGBT rights or the queer inclusiveness, they gain that trust within themselves and people come and talk. But say an organization like the Silent Sexism Project or any other organization for matter is trying to become that safe space where people can come and talk, and how to gain that trust with the queer community, and how to also try to bring more and more people in there to make it a safe space.
Okay. I will give you an example of my previous organization and my current organization. My previous organization, a few of them knew about my sexuality, hence the word of mouth, the information just spread. So that's when the HR manager came up to me and he said, "Would you want to go ahead and talk about your community to the organization?" So I said, "Yes, I will be more than happy to talk about it. But what is in it for the organization if I go ahead and talk? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to achieve by me talking about the community? Do you have any policies in place? Do you have any recruitment in place? What is it that you're looking for?" So that's when he spoke, saying that yes, we are planning to have job opportunities for the transgender community, and I said, why not the other communities? And that's when he told me, which was really good, because he said the other community people, that is LGBTQIA, all of these terms, umbrella terms, people go ahead and have the privilege to go ahead and get themselves a job. But from the trans community, it is very difficult to go ahead and have the job opportunity open up to the community. So that's when I felt that wow, I mean, it's growing. I mean, people are knowing about it. So it's very important for us as a community to go ahead and have more job opportunity space for the trans community than the other communities. And that's one part of the story. That is them coming and asking me about it. Now, let's talk about my current organization. I would not want to name it, but yes, my current organization, I tried contacting a few people, but it clearly stated that no one had any information about the policies or job opportunities or having that inclusiveness within the organization. No one had any clue about it. But recently, I saw my company change their logo to the rainbow logo, which apparently I was very happy. The minute I saw the logo change, I was like, wow. I mean, my company supports the community. But then within a fraction of second, I changed my thought, and I got to myself saying that, wow, my company is into pink washing, because when I spoke about trying to speak about the community about a year ago, no one came forward to talk about it. And now you change your logo to a rainbow logo, and I don't know whether to feel happy about it or sad about it. So, um, what I would request the organizations to do is I would want the organizations to have an LGBTQI session randomly. Not necessary that you need to find people from the company, not necessary that you need to wait for people to come and ask you. It's better you go ahead and connect with a support group or an organization who deals with the queer community. Because if you have a thought that yes, you want to do something for the community, why don't you go ahead and come forward? Why don't you go ahead and come forward and connect with any of us? We are like about what 500 support groups all over India. Why don't you go ahead and connect with any one of us, and we will go ahead and help you with whatever you want to, right? So that is the first step I want the organizations to do, saying that proactively you have to come ahead and say, hey, I want inclusiveness in my organization. We want to go ahead and have a session on the LGBTQI community. Why don't you go ahead and have a session in our organization? And that's how you start. So when you go ahead and start the session, you educate your employees about the community and then get started with other things like recruiting, going ahead and raising funds for the trans community. So things like that.
That is very nice to hear. Even last week, when we spoke to Shovik, we spoke about how we can increase inclusivity in corporates, and there were similar things that were there that a corporation can do to do that. So, in terms of Queer Nilayam, have you paired with any, or have you collaborated with any organizations to conduct any events, or because I think. As you mentioned right now, that it is good to actually collaborate with one of the organizations that is already doing that and have that support group. So have you been able to do that? Since I think because Bangalore and Hyderabad are more open, supposedly more open than other cities in terms of having LGBT communities and support groups. So have you been able to do that in those cities or any other cities for that matter? Or is there any difference that you have faced when the organizations contact you from different cities?
We have not had any differences from any organizations. In the last 3 months, yes, we did go ahead and talk to an organization who came forward to say that they want to provide medical kits and grocery kits for the trans community. And recently, we have connected with Geetam University, as I was telling you earlier, that they want us to go ahead and provide different kind of sessions for the whole three campuses of the university, and I think it's spread for the next 2 months. So yes, Queer Nilayam is going to go ahead and provide multiple sessions to the students to educate themselves about the community, the terms used in the community, the entrepreneurs who find themselves difficult to go ahead and take it further, considering they are from the community. So yes, we are having sessions with them, and yes, the only thing what we have noticed is why companies are asking now. Why have they come forward only on the Pride month? Why not earlier? Why not later? Right? That's our question. So any company who is coming forward to any company who's coming forward to seek help from Queer Nilayam during the Pride month, the very next second, the only thing which comes to our mind is they're pink washing it. So why go ahead and collaborate with companies whom we already know that pink washing? At the same time, we also have pros wherein, I mean, why not go ahead and not think about it and just educate the people? So it's all mixed feelings over here. So I think people companies have to come further, no matter what, whether it's a Pride month or not a Pride month. We would like companies to come forward and ask our help. We will go ahead and provide you any kind of help free of cost. We are not charging anything. We are just talking about our community, and we want people to know about our community. I mean, oh, we also go ahead and work from 9 to 6. There are a lot of people who work from 9 to 6. In fact, people work for 18 hours also. But still, they go ahead and put in some time to the support group and say, hey, it's our community and we want to go ahead and talk about it. And please go ahead and seek help. We are here to help you.
That is actually because you are also a working professional, working a full time job, and also helping in the support group. So I would urge everyone to check Queer Nilayam out. If you want to connect with them, then connect with them. Attend their meetings, or in any way attend their events, or if you want to collaborate with them, whether it's Pride Month or not. So that is all very nice to hear, and it is actually very important to know that such support groups exist specifically for this reason. So for this, is there any special incident that you would want to share us that happened during the any of the meeting? I know that these are very personal, but any touching moment that you had that you would like to share with us?
The touching moment I felt is I will just tell you my experience.
Yes.
Now, last year when I had come to Hyderabad, I was called for a pride meet um, in Hyderabad. When we were all given invitation to come to the pride meet, there was one spokesperson who bluntly told me that they don't go ahead and expect the outsiders to go ahead and provide the suggestions. Now, that hurt me a lot. And then I understood that I wanted to know why they are like that. Why, I mean, they're also from the community. Why would they go ahead and do that? So that's when I connected with a lot of other people in Hyderabad and realized that, as you said, Bangalore is very open to the community aspect, but Hyderabad isn't. Hyderabad is slowly getting to that level, but it isn't LGBTQI friendly. Hence, we had a lot of issues earlier, and that's the only reason the spokesman went ahead and gave me that piece of hurt. But it took me about a year to go ahead and connect with people, and there was a carnival recently, and I happened to connect with Tushar, and Tushar told me that there's Riddhi who wants to connect with you. She also has ideas of having a support space, and we just spoke about it, and we said, acha, tomorrow everybody at my place for get together. And we were six of us, and in about 2 hours to 3 hours we decided what needs to be done, and we had a name for the support group. So that was very it brought me tears, because all through this while for a year I was not able to connect with people, and now I'm able to connect with people. And they've come forward to go ahead and have a support group, which was brilliant. And only when we started to talk and when we started to club ideas, we understood that all are from the community and all of them share the same idea of a safe space for the community. So that was like really big.
That is actually very nice to know that culture of more inclusivity and support group is growing in Hyderabad, and I hope it grows in other cities too. Maybe slowly, but I hope that it grows there too.
Absolutely. In fact, when we had recently, we had people from Nagpur who came and spoke about HIV, and we had a lot of folks from Nagpur who joined the meeting, and we realized that a lot of NGOs for the community from other cities actually require help. It is not only about raising funds for them, but they also need job opportunities support. And I realized that there are about 60,000 trans men and trans women from the trans community in Hyderabad. They have left doing sex work. They have studied PhD, MBA, and all kind of higher studies, and they don't have a job. The only reason they don't have a job is because the companies have something called background verification. The minute you go ahead and do background verification, they don't get through. Only because during the process of them doing sex work, they have at least one case on them. Now, just because they were doing sex work is because they had a case on them. Now they're not doing, and they have completed the education. They have completed to a very high level of education. Why are they not able to find a job yet? But we have about a few companies from Hyderabad itself who have come forward and helping the trans community find a job. So out of 60,000, I think about 2 to 3,000 people were recruited in the last 6 months.
That that is as you said few minutes ago, it's disheartening and overwhelming at the same time, because
Right.
there are so many people who got jobs, but then there are so many who didn't. So I do think that maybe there are some companies who are becoming more open to understanding how transgenders and how sex workers progress in their life. But I do think that there is a huge scope of them understanding more as to how they can increase numbers.
So
So
there's one more incident I wanted to share. In the month of April, Queer Nilayam rescued a lesbian couple from Gujarat to Hyderabad. And to be since I've spoken about it, I was one among them who were trying to rescue them, and I was put behind a police lockup for a day, and I was beaten up and bullied and what do you call beaten up with sticks and chappal from the relatives of the mother. I mean, one of the mother of the girl. So all of these things were happening, and why I want to go ahead and talk about it is because the police department did not have any clue about the LGBTQI community. Then how are they going to go ahead and support, or how are they going to go ahead and help the community if one among from the community go ahead and seek help at the police station? Right? So we are. I am in touch with the She team commissioner of Telangana, trying to go ahead and provide some kind of session to the police department in Telugu about the LGBTQI community, and make sure that yes, at least the entire police department of Telangana is aware of the community, so that at no point of time anyone who is coming for any kind of support from the LGBT community to the police are not turned back.
yes, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear that you had to go through that. But at the same time, I mean, I'm very happy to hear that you take such an active part in helping everyone who might be going to different things and different kinds of discrimination because of them being from the community. So that is very commendable what you did. So I think that it is I mean, I would like to know your opinion on whether the policy making, like for example, when you join corporate, you get a lot of training on sexual harassment, posh, intellectual property, and all those things. Do you think that such trainings will make a huge impact, or even a little impact in the way people view, or it is something that people will just ignore and complete it as a part of training? In terms of your experience, what have you seen the trend?
In terms of my experience, that training is mandatory. All of them do follow the training, and all of them understand the importance of it. But at the same time, I cannot say all of them go ahead and follow it. Majority follow it. There would be some glitches somewhere. like 1 or 2% of it will turn out to be rogues, but majority I have seen all my life is people have adhered to the meeting, adhered to the training. People have understood the importance of it. Earlier, 10, 15 years ago, nobody really cared about it. It's like they said, yeah, it's one of the training and just attend. But now people are knowing about it. The only reason because social media has, I mean, reached in such a level that people have come out and started talking about it. Now we had Me Too campaigns as well. Why did we have Me Too campaigns, right? So right now, what I see is people are talking about it and expressing a lot of things, and hence the employees in the organizations have taken these trainings very seriously. And I have seen a lot of companies. I've been in a lot of companies that the companies make sure that these trainings become a mandatory aspect in the policy that yes, every employee should attend this training. And what has happened after the training? Yes, it has gone ahead and helped a lot of people. People have come forward and spoken about it. And people have also gone ahead and made sure that yes, the official space is a safe space.
That is actually very nice to hear because so if the companies do make these trainings mandatory, it can make a huge impact on how people view the community and their peers who belong to this community. So with that, I'll just come to my last question and save your time as well. So can you tell me a little bit about how you have seen the Pride Month or the Pride parades and such events progress within the last decades that you have been involved with? Now, I know that
So,
in Bangalore, it is during October and November that the Pride Month is celebrated, and I think in Hyderabad also a little later than this time. So,
yeah,
so
right.
can you just tell a little bit about how it has progressed and what impact it has the celebrating Pride Month has made?
All right. So when my first Pride was in 2009, no, I think 2007 or 2008. I'm not sure. It was such a long time back. So I was very excited. I did not know the importance of Pride on my first Pride walk because I did not know why we're walking. And when people started talking about the pride after the pride is when I understood that how important is pride. And when we walked, we were like about, I think, about 300 people, 200 to 300 people. But I realized that as and when every year I attend the pride, the amount of people joining the pride has drastically increased so much that we have had a time where we included people coming from the rural regions to go ahead and attend the pride. That means we have Sangama, we have a lot of we have Solidarity Foundation, which is in Bangalore. All of these support groups go ahead and support the minorities from the rural areas, and they go ahead and tell them that there is a pride walk and it is for you. You are part of the pride. And we've had about 5,000 people coming in the year of 2017 pride, and which is brilliant. Now that is about Bangalore. And we've had where after the Pride Walk, we also have a Sanjay evening show where from the community people go ahead and perform. We have performers, we have people showing their talents, and that goes like for about 3 to 4 hours. Now that is of Bangalore, but what's happening in Hyderabad? I have not been a part of any of the Pride in Hyderabad, considering that last year it was cancelled because of the CAA. And this year, again, it's cancelled because of Corona. Thanks. But earlier than that, Hyderabad they have a group, they have a collective where it says Swabhimana Yatra. wherein a collective of support groups come together to go ahead and organize the pride together. Just like in Bangalore too, all the support groups come together to go ahead and manage the pride. Every support group will be given a certain responsibility to go and take it further. So yes, if I have to compare Bangalore and Hyderabad, I think Hyderabad um, is way behind than Bangalore. How Bangalore was 10 years ago, that's how I see Hyderabad is. But we will reach there. We are in no urgency to go ahead and compete with any other city. But in terms of pride, yes, people have started to talk about it. People have come forward and helped remove 377, which is brilliant. And people also are working towards same-sex marriages. And we are looking for adoption. We are looking for a lot of other things. Now, since people have started to talk more and more and more and more about the community, we have been heard. Earlier, we were not heard. We were not in large numbers. Now we are in extremely large numbers. Will it go a little more bigger? Yes, it will go a little more bigger, and I'm very happy about it.
That is so great to know, and I hope it goes so big that nobody can leave anybody unheard. And really hope to try and do as much as we can as an organization, as an individual, towards this. And with that, thank you, Jayant, for joining us today and the great insights on Queer Nilayam and other things that Pride has done and the way Pride has progressed. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.